Do you want to learn how to embroider this flower? I'm Defne Güntürkün, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how. Okay, so I have several flower images here and I've chosen this one. I will put it on my fabric and I will put the fabric on the hoop. Then I'll start stitching my flower. I unscrew my hoop, place the fabric on top, push it, then I make sure it's really tight. Then pull from the corners. It has to be drum tight, like this, and my hoop is ready. I could use a tracing paper, but I'll just draw freehand, and I will simplify some of the details. And I use the friction pen for this. What this pen does is, if you apply heat on it, and all the lines will disappear. Okay, my drawing is ready. Now I'm going to pick my needle and start with the stem, with a medium color. Because in the end, I can add some lights and shadows with the dark and light one. Usually I go like just a bit longer than my elbow. If it's shorter, you'll run out of it very quickly. If it's too long, then it will tangle. So this is good enough. You know, embroidery floss has 6 strands. For this, I'm going to use 3, and you can separate them like that. And I will put it in my needle. I make one part longer, put a knot on the longer part. I'll start from the bottom, and I will use a back and split stitch. I'll just go further, come back, kind of like stab it in between. Same length, and repeat this movement for all the stems. Okay, this is enough. If my thread is long enough, I do this kind of tie, but let's say it's not long enough, I separate them and tie a regular knot. Now I will take the same one. This time I'm going to use the 6th strand for the leaves with a bigger needle. I'm not taking all the details here. I make them simplified. So my base is done for the leaves and stems, and I'm gonna add some lights and shadows on them. The lightest one. Adding just a little bit light and shadow changes a lot. So for the light, I'll just use one strand. Let's start from the top. In the beginning, for the leaves, I used like satin stitch, and now I'm adding some lights with some long and short stitches. And I'm kind of giving them some curves, so they are not really straight. Before adding these light shades, they were more like kind of fat leaves, but now I'm getting closer to my original image. With the lights, I make them kind of skinnier and longer. The last one. So, it's done so far for me, for the stems, and in the end, I'll just add tiny little shadows here, and I want to move on to flower now. I'll start with the lightest color, and then I will be adding shadows and shadows. And for this stitch, I'm going to use long and short stitch. When you're working on your hoop, it gets kind of loosened, so once in a while, make sure it's tight enough again. So this will be my base, the lightest one, and I'm going to use 3 strands for that. Here the important thing is, I would go these directions for my stitches. Just like here on the image, you can see. It doesn't matter where you start, I just picked this leaf. My plan is to fill all the leaves, then I will add some shadows, and in the middle, just a little bit lighter colors. You can fix your lines with your needle, just like that, so they get straightened. And one thing I want to show also, you see I can find where to come out very easily, because this finger is helping guiding my needle. If you see these two, they are not really close to each other. In the beginning, let's say like this is a sketch, I kind of make my lines, then I fill the spaces in between. So it's not a boring line stitches. It's okay to turn your hoop like how you feel comfortable. Let's leave this one now and let's work on some shadows. As you can see, the colors I chose here, there's not a big contrast going on here. In the end, it will create a nice gradient. For this one, I'll just use one strand and I will do some just here. This is good. Now the darker shade. Again, I'm going to use one strand. So these two are done and I'm happy with the result. And now I will just add some yellows here because I really want to see this one finished. So I have my yellow thread here and I will use 3 strands. I will show you French knots. I think it will make it more fun. For French knots, you hold your thread like this, turn 1 or 2 times. In this case, I'll just turn 1 time, step back, hold your hoop and this tight, pull your needle and now you can leave. Now we have a tiny knot and I'll repeat that to fill this area, but not too much. This will be the last one. I think it looks pretty. So let's come back to this one. I have leftover threads here, so I will use them. Okay, one thing that is missing here is the little leaves here that will kind of like cover the little flowers. So I'm going to add those and I think that will be enough. For that, I'm going to use my medium green. Start from here. As you can see, I'm going over the lilac ones because here in the drawing, it's like in the nature, it kind of covers the flower. And the final one. I hope you enjoyed watching me doing this flower, and if you want to learn more embroidery techniques with me, go check out my courses on Domestika.